I will wait for you. And I will tell you probably the easiest thing for you as 7th graders who fundamentally have almost zero concept of math. Probably the easiest way for you to do it, and there's going to be some shortcuts here that I'm going to show you that hopefully make some sense here. But if I were you, I would do percent boxes. Remember when we did ratio boxes?
Yes.
Well, a percent is nothing more than a ratio. Yes? Percent is a ratio that has something over 100. Okay? So it's going to look like this. And again, I'm going to some of them you're not going to have to do quite this much, but for right now, this works for everything. So here's the question. 32 ounces is 25% of a gallon. Is that even a question? Oh yeah, okay, how many ounces is a gallon? Write that down. 32 ounces is 25% of a gallon. How many ounces are in a gallon? And you probably could go over and look at Mr. Gallon and probably tell me that, but that's neither here nor there. So here's what it looks like, children. You are going to draw yourself a handy-dandy little percent box. And this is the way it will always look, or at least for right now. It will have 2 columns, 3 rows. This first column is going to be percent. And the second one is going to be the actual real numbers. Hashtag, real hashtags. Okay? The first 2 rows are going to be the 2% that you split something into. And the last row is going to be the final percent. But the final percent, which is the total percent of anything, when you add 2 things up together, they get you 100%. That's just what it's going to be. So you're going to always know that this last one, for right now, is 100%. That one is going to be a no-brainer. You are going to fill in that 100% right off the bat. It's just there. Later on, we'll get to somewhere that may not be necessarily that case. So the question is, what boxes can I fill in where? Right here. 32 ounces is 25%. Well, I've got a percent there, and it doesn't matter which one I call it here. 25% I can put here. Guess what this other one? If I were looking for something else, what would go there? What number added to 25 gives me 100? 75. It's implied. You don't have to put that there. It doesn't come into play in this one, but eventually it will. Now, the question is, where does 32 ounces go? Is 32 ounces the whole gallon? Is 32 ounces what 25% is, or is 32 ounces what 75% is? Lauren, it's what 25 is. 25 is 32 ounces. And I am looking for this number right here. How much is in a whole gallon? So once you get this, it is nothing more than making equal fractions with what ratios you're given there. 25 over 100, which is right there, has to equal 32 over some number. Equal fractions, is there an easy way to do this? Absolutely. What's the easiest way to do this? Anybody? Madison? Reduce it. 25 over 100 is the same as what fraction? By the way, stop, let me make this public service announcement again. Okay, this is not this times this. So you can't cross-cancel this bottom with that top. You can't say 4 goes into both of those and do that. That's when you multiply a fraction. But you can reduce fractions since they're on the same time. And 25 goes into 100 4 times. So this whole thing really is the same thing as 1/4. And then it becomes really easy because 1 times what is 32? 1 times 32 is 32, and 4 times 32 is my answer, which is 128 ounces. Which, if you look at your little gallon of whatever liquid, it is 128 ounces. Are we okay with that? Does that kind of make any sort of figure down? I'm going to give you an easier sort of thing in a minute for some of them, but for right now, this just seems to work the best after so much time. Ready for problem number 2? Let's pick a hard one. Shall we?
We shall.
20% of what number is, well, I like that one. Let me do a different one. Oh, what percent of 50 is 32? What percent of 50 is 32? If you're mathematical, I'm thinking you probably are thinking that this is maybe a little bit more work than you need to do for this, but if you're not mathematical, which again seems like most of you, after that whole scientific notation stuff, you can be in trouble here. So here's my percent slash whatever thing. And it always is the same. This is going to be percent. This is the real number. This is going to be the final number, or the total, which is always going to be 100%. Okay? What do I know and where does it go? How about that? Does the problem give me any other percents? Do you see a percentage sign in that problem? No. I don't know either of these percents. That's kind of what I'm figuring out. But I do know a couple of the real numbers. 50 goes where and 32 goes where? Connor Morgan? What percent of 50 is 32? 50 is, Madison?
The final.
Yeah, 50 is the whole number. 50 is everything. And 32, it doesn't matter which one you really put it in, because I don't have any percents there. I just know I'm splitting 50 into 2 parts. One of them is 32. The other one you could figure is 18. I don't need the 18, but I know it's there. What do I want to know? I want to know what 32 is what percent. So there again, you just have equal fractions. What number over 100 equals 32 over 50? And to go from 50 to 100, I just multiplied by 2. And 32 times 2 is? Anybody? Yes, 64. Emma, did you have a question or are you going to give me an answer?
No, you answered.
Okay, now, are you ready for some football?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
If you write this problem down, Bob bought a car for $8,500. Bob bought car, $8,500. Bob bought car, $8,500. The sales tax was 7%. How much did he pay in tax? In a problem like this, children, you really don't need to do the whole percent box. Why? Because you are just looking for 7% of $8,500. Just like when you go to a restaurant and you pay a 20% tip, you really shouldn't have to draw all these boxes to find that. Why? Because you are looking for 7% of $8,500, which would mean you simply need to do what? Zachary? Multiply the two numbers together. Okay, because if you did this out in the big percent slash whatever box, actually, this one doesn't even really work in that because 7% is neither parts of that number there. Yeah, it's actually what we call a markup. So you have to actually start with 100% and add 7. And when you pay the price of the car, you're actually paying 107% because you have the 100% that it started out be plus the 7% tax, and you get 107% tax. So it's really best when you talk about tax and tip and the word of in there, you are just going to multiply that. And the thing to remember is, what is 7%? I can't deal with 7% as a percent. I need to change it to a, you can do fraction if you want, but as a decimal it is 0.07. And then you just multiply that out. 35, 3, 56, 59. It looks like to me you paid $595 in tax on that. $595 in tax. As a matter of fact, the key on making your life simple would be something like this. Well, maybe not. Well, I don't see it. Yeah. How much is a 15% tip? How much is a 15% tip on I guess I could have done that. How much is 15% tip on $13.25? I guess you could drew the box out here. And you could make this your final thing, which is $13.25. You want to split it into what is 15% of that. But it's just so much easier just to say, I want to know what 15% of that is. 13.25 times, what is 15%? 0.15. What happens when I get a lot of decimal numbers when it comes to money? You may have to do some rounding. I don't know if this works out or not. 25, 2, 10, 12, 1, 15, 16, 1, 5, 6, 0, 13, 25, 5, 7, 8. Did I do this right? How many decimal places? 4. So here's my decimal. Is there such a thing as $1 and 9,875 10,000th of a dollar?
No.
What are you going to have to do, Sophia? What are my two choices for answers? Either it's going to be $1.98 or $1.99. Which ones are going to be? Why? Because this is a 7. It's more than a half of a cent, so you have to add one to that. It's $1.99. Which is a shame. Do you think somebody would actually leave $1.99, or do you think they would really go overboard and pay $2 whole dollars? I don't know what that is. Let me give you one to try. We'll see how many people get this right. We could play the game. Sam paid $24. Sam paid $24. That's what he paid. $24 for a shirt which was 75% of the original price. What was the original price? This one you will have to do a fraction, a percent box. Let me see if you can handle where to put the numbers for that. Where would was the original price. By the way, $24 was the sale price, so the original price better be more than that. If it's not, then we're in trouble. I will see it. Ooh. That's interesting. That's it. Answers we got? Ooh. I don't know if we have time to play the corner game. Fisher, what'd you come up with?
$32.
Who's agreeing with Fisher on the $32 end of things? Not so many as one would hope. Andrew, what'd you get? Oh, you didn't finish. Aaron, did you get 32? Grace, did you get an answer? Fiddler, did you get an answer? Oh, boy. Well, here's what it looks like. Let's do the breakdown here. Percent, real numbers, whole, it's 100%. We're breaking that into 75% is the other number, so there's a 25% number. What do we know? The question is, where does $24 go? $24 was 75%. It says right there. $24 is the 75%. You want to know what the original price was, and that's what the whole price is. By the way, it was a 25% off sale. You reduced the price by 25. If you take 25% off of the shirt, you pay 75% for it. That's when you go to Kohl's and they have 70% off of anything. What percent are you actually paying for it? Don't answer that 30. So 75 over 100 equals 24 over what number? And again, this reduces to 3/4. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is $32. How much did you get off the shirt? If you pay $24 for a $32 shirt, yeah, it was on sale for $8 off. So that's neither here nor there. All right, your assignment.